Thank you all. My name is Steve Kirsh. Thanks, Matt. I've been married to my wonderful wife, Jacques, for 50 years. We've been together since we were 16 years old. Anyone who knows both of us, and especially anyone who knows me, will attest that if Jacques had not converted to Judaism and remained a Catholic, she'd be a saint by now. We have three terrific sons, Joshua, Grant, and Tyler, all of whom are successful and great fathers. I have to admit, though, we really did our best in raising our boys. However, two of them turned out to be liberal Democrats. I do have a favorite child. Not the conservative Republican, but Henry, my incredibly adorable doodle. Now, many of you may know that a doodle is a combination between a poodle and any other breed of dog. What you may not know is that poodles were originally bred as hunting dogs. I don't know if that's true, but I need you to believe it for this next joke to work. Can you imagine a flock of birds hanging out? Oh my God, here comes Fifi! It's not that unusual to have a favorite child. My friend Dick Weiss has 3 daughters. Each week, Dick posts on the refrigerator door the name of his favorite daughter. That's a true story. He told me that one of his daughters really takes it to heart if her name isn't on the refrigerator and tries harder the following week to get back up there. The other 2 have unexplained psychological problems. As I was doing my research for this performance, that is, as I was leafing through a magazine about dogs standing in line at CVS, I learned some important things about dogs. The first is that dogs have been important companions for humans for a very long time. In fact, in ancient times, dogs were often buried with their human owners. That's true. I think that's true. Go with me. I talked to Henry about this. Henry said he's perfectly fine being buried with me so long as he dies first. So long as he dies first. I also learned that dogs are the natural protectors of their humans, which explains why at night when Henry's sleeping on the bed, he's always facing the doorway in case an intruder enters the bedroom. Now, I don't know if it counts as protection when he's laying on his back with his paws up in the air, wearing a eucalyptus eye mask with his head on the pillow, listening to a white noise machine. I can only hope that his shared ancestry with poodles will cause him to rally if a flock of birds armed with assault rifles enters the bedroom. Arnold Palmer, the legendary golfer, once famously said, "It's easy to know what men are thinking. In fact, if they're not thinking about it every 3 seconds, their minds are wandering." It's harder to, sorry, I thought this was G-rated too. It's harder to know what dogs are thinking, except Henry. Henry is always thinking a variation of, I want a treat, I want some of what you're eating, I want you to go get me a cheeseburger and french fries. Which explains why the Goodyear blimp people have contacted us about flying Henry over NFL football stadiums and NASCAR races. Henry's second favorite activity is going for a walk, because he loves hunting for squirrels. When Henry sees a squirrel, he gets really low to the ground, puts his right paw up in the air, assuming a quite menacing look, just waiting for a squirrel to run toward him, fall over dead at the sight of such a fierce-looking predator. Well, on one walk, Henry spotted a squirrel on top of a bird feeder. What Henry didn't know was that the squirrel had eaten so much bird seed that it had gone into a food coma, lost his balance, fell off the bird feeder, right down on top of Henry. Henry was so shocked that his fierce-looking predator pose finally worked that he passed out. My boys, the human ones, take great delight in reminding me that they're at this program and Henry is not. Well, duh. Henry's at home reading a magazine he purchased at CVS about how to keep his name on the refrigerator door. Thank you very much. Thank you.